Here we have a 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and we're going to change the battery. First thing you want to do is move the right front passenger seat all the way forward and kind of lift it up as high as you can. Behind the right front passenger seat, you'll find the battery. It's located right underneath. There's a panel right underneath the seat. You just pop the panel open. It is not very hard. It's held in by, you can see these clips. Pretty easy. Pop that panel open and you'll see the battery. The battery terminals are held on by a 10mm nut. We're just going to break those loose. These ones were already kind of loose because I did already loosen them. Terminal comes right off. And then I always take off the negative first. That is the proper way to remove a battery. You'll see the vent line. So when you buy your new battery, you want to make sure that it has the option to put in your vent, because remember, you have your battery in your cabin and you don't want to have any problems. So we're going to pop the vent line out. We'll move that to the side, let it hang there. And then if you look straight down, you'll see two bolts, two nuts right there. There's two studs sticking up with two 13mm nuts on them. We'll need a deep socket to remove those two. That is what's holding the battery down. I'm gonna put a socket on it right now and break them loose, and then I'll continue with the video. Okay, I removed the plate that secures the battery down. Again, 13mm nuts, two of them, holds that plate down. Pretty easy to take off. Now I'm just gonna take off that positive terminal, which I've already loosened. That one again is a 10mm nut, right on top right here. 10mm nut, loosen that nut, battery terminal comes right off. It is a little hard because it's kind of tight in there, but it will come off. I'll continue the video in a second. As you can see, the battery does fit. I just lifted it up and sat it on this little plate that's right under the seat, and I'm going to lift the battery straight out. Okay, battery's out. Not hard, just kind of hard to film while I'm lifting it, but battery clearance is definitely there. All you have to do is just lift it straight out. And again, when you're putting the new battery in, the procedure is just reverse. It's pretty simple. I'll show the vent tube when I plug in the new one. I believe it has holes on each side of the battery, and on the opposite side you'll plug it with your new battery. Should have like a little plug, unless it's factory. Maybe the factory one, let's see, factory one may not require it, but I know some of the aftermarket ones have another hole on the opposite side, and it also comes with a little plug. You plug it, and on this side you put your vent tube back in. As you can see, the factory battery did have a plug in it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a plug in the new battery that I got that came in the kit. Okay, I'm going to put this plug in. It's pretty simple. Small plug, you just press it in and you're good to go. Okay, so the new battery's in. I'm going to put the securing plate down and tighten those nuts back up. Okay, I'm going to plug the vent tube right back inside the battery. Fit like a champ. Now I'm going to connect both terminals. Just to clarify, I'm going to connect the positive first, the negative last. I'll throw in a little bit of advice. When you're going to put the positive terminal on, it's definitely a lot easier to do it before you put the securing plate, so you can move the battery back a little bit. So go ahead and put that positive terminal on and tighten it up, and then you can slide the battery forward and you can move forward with installing the securing plate. Okay, I installed the battery hold down, and now I'm going to move forward with connecting the negative terminal. Be sure and press your terminal all the way down. Make sure the terminal is sticking out a little bit above. Make sure the post is sticking out a little bit above the terminal, and then you can tighten that 10 millimeter bolt. It's pretty simple. And the ground is just a ground, so you don't have to worry about it arcing. Just tighten it up. When you're putting the hold down plate on, make sure that you move the battery forward, and you can adjust this hold down plate. It can slide forward or back. So move the battery as far forward as possible, and make sure that you have this plate pressing really hard against the battery when you tighten those nuts. It'll hold the battery strongly, securely in place.